ImVmad.
What's cracking, everybody? How's it going? Got Skul the Hero Slayer right here. This has got to be the most addictive platformer I've played. Wow. How does it work? Start off with the main character here. We got the skull. I've just thrown my head away because I'm on the keyboard. 1 second. Gonna swap to my controller. We have these vendors. They're unlocked inside the dungeon once you start it, right? Find them in little cages, you break them, and they come out. This one here, it upgrades all your different talent tree points. Got magic attack, we got swap cooldown reduction, we got skill cooldown speed, and then like all these different ones here, like when swapping, create a barrier with 20 HP for 1 second. If the barrier does not break, swap cooldown is reduced by 1 second. We got increased physical attack, we got increased max HP, reduced damage received by power type skulls, resurrect you with 60% of HP 1 time, increase crit rate 10%, reduce quint cooldown by 40%. So a quint is a slot that you have that is basically an ultimate. It's on kind of a long cooldown. You got spirit acceleration, so increased attack and movement speed of speed type skulls by 20%. And then enables you to destroy scroll items and get 842 gold depending on the grade. So what that means is there's like common, there's like rare, there's unique, legendary, different types of items, right? We talk to this guy here. He's going to give us a head. You pick up the head, you turn into the skull of that type. So if we press our menu now, we can see that every 15 seconds, this guy generates 1 seed up to a total of 3. Pressing down and square consumes the seed, plants a patch of grass that lasts for 10 seconds. The skull's skill cooldown is reduced by 50% when casting while standing on grass, and then tackle. So dashes are considered attacks, cannot dash consecutively. What does that mean? It's this. That's your dash. It now becomes an attack. Going back in here, if we hold R2, we can now see our ability, which is rapid growth. Slam the ground with his gigantic fist, dealing physical damage. Okay. So if I press down square, get the grass out, and then I press L2 and I can do my move. We talk to this guy again, we can spend some of our dark quartz and get another skeleton. Should that happen, it falls on the ground. So if we hold triangle now, we can break that and get bones. You'll see at the bottom right, there's a little section for how many bones you have. So we'll break it. You can see now I have 5 bones. What they're for is you take them to an arachnid spider lady, and she appears every couple of levels. And when you hand them to her, she will upgrade your skeleton into the next tier. And after that happens, you'll see in the center their abilities will change, and they'll also get a second skill at the bottom. You'll see Iron Defense Shield Charge. There'll be another skill there. Moving on, we got the Ogre. He gives us items. This guy's also found in the dungeon. And we can pay for another item. Now, let's go into something a little more interesting. So you'll see the item, it has its magic attack is increased by 40% while midair. Normal attacks performed in midair have a 5% chance to inflict freeze. And then you'll notice at the bottom it says Saw and Absolute 0. So if we hold R2 for details, you can see now that if we have 2 stacks of Saw, we get our crit rate increased by 20% while in midair. And at 4 pieces of Saw gear, we get damage dealt to enemies is amplified by 40% while in midair. And it's the same for Absolute 0. First real good bonus is 2, so increase freeze duration by 2 seconds. And at 4, attacking frozen enemies increase the number of hits to remove freeze by 2, and amplifies damage by 15% to enemies at the end of freeze duration for 5 seconds. This guy is also unlocked in the dungeon, and he gives you a buff. So if I click it, we now have HP barrier. So you'll see on the bottom left, my purple health bar now has a plus 100 blue, which is a shield. And with that being said, we can start the run. So, like this. You see a green door, that means that there is a skull at the end of the green door. And if you see a door like this, it means there's gold and an item at the end of the door. So in this particular case, I'm going to go for the item because it's a fully loaded one. It's stacked. See all the chests around it. Means it's got a better chance of giving me something good. You can see the passive from that item proccing straight away. These barrels explode. And then you also have concentration moves. So a concentration move is like this. If I hold down and square, like down and attack, he'll charge up his shield and then he'll jump forward. So if you see an item that has concentration on it, I don't have any right now, but that's what that does. So we're at the end of the level. You can see now we have an item. So we could potentially stack Absolute Zero, which is one of our perks that we have. I personally don't like freeze a whole lot, and the reason why is because if you freeze something mid-animation, like say they're doing a charge attack, like a boss or something, and they get frozen, that attack will be stored in memory, and when they're unfrozen, it will come out. And I've died to that, and I've been hit by that quite a lot. In this case, I'm going to get this Carleon insignia, because it's going to give me extra gold. It generates 30 gold per Carleon item you have in your upon changing map. And you'll find a bunch of NPCs like this throughout the maps. This particular guy drops an item. Some of them have quests for you to do. Some of them give you passive stats. So they're always worth saving. And there is one in particular that enables you to spend gold and you're able to change your skill. So we're going to hold that triangle down to get him released. And he's going to give me something. See what we get. Alright, we got another Ring of Wind. Not the worst because we've got 2 Saw now. So we got the crit rate, crit chance increase while midair, which is kind of nice. And you can also see on the left side there's a counter for how many of these. I forget what they're called. We'll just call them affixes. Additionally, you can also hold L2 for character information. You can check your crit rate, crit damage, all that sort of stuff, attack speed, and build around that. Quite helpful. I don't exactly know how to build this guy, so I'm going to kind of want the blade though. I don't know. I still have a lot to learn. I only have 30 hours in the game, which sounds like a lot, but for how much there is in it, how many items there are to learn, and then the boss fight mechanics, it's actually not that long. Either that or I'm really terrible at the game. You can see that the hit markers are pretty clear, like if there's an ability on the ground and stuff. Yeah. Alright, so here's the shop. This guy heals you. Restore 40% of HP for the price of gold, right? Get a little buff with it too. Attack and movement speed by 30% after 3 maps. And then you can buy your individual items. Should you see an item that you don't like, you can swap it here with the restock. But in this case, I wouldn't mind another saw just because that would make 4, and I don't know if I've ever done that. Here's a good skull right here. The Petty Thief is actually quite strong, so I'm going to swap. Just be warned that if you use this guy, it absorbs the skull and doesn't drop it. So yeah, something to be aware of. Now that I have this guy, I'm just going to go with the physical damage. Actually, I should have gone magic, hey? This guy's pretty good magic. Let me take that one. We'll go magic. I didn't check my abilities. So this guy swings its dagger while invulnerable, dealing magic damage, gain 4 gold from affected enemies. And you can see that it's magic damage, so we made the right call there. Going to play up to the first boss, which is this guy here. Yeah, boss down. I'm actually going to take this skull and break it, so it brings us up to 10, which means I can show you what it looks like when you upgrade. So right here, got the Arachne. We can click Awaken, and she'll ask for 10 bones. We have. And now she'll upgrade me to the next tier. So now you can see that it's a 10% chance to gain 2 gold. Gold fallen from enemies explodes, dealing magic damage. Pretty awesome. So yeah, with that being said, I highly recommend this game. It's super addictive, super fun, and the replayability on it is insane. I still haven't even finished the game, which is a little bit embarrassing, but I guess it's a testament to how difficult I find it. But yeah, really good game. Hopefully you guys pick it up. Day/night, and I'll catch you later.